On Thai PBS World Tonight, air quality in Bangkok today is still poor, but better than yesterday. The Tourism Authority of Thailand expects slight growth in tourism despite XingXing's incident. And Thailand's stock market opened high today after US President Donald Trump officially took office, while gold prices have slightly dropped.
And good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nat Bunna.
I'm Frank Kanshi.
And as usual, we're still not working from home despite the air pollution, it seems to be better than yesterday, but it's still not looking good because most of the districts across the capital still reach unhealthy levels of PM 2.5 dust pollution today. So the air quality in Bangkok remains poor, but the situation seems to be slightly better than yesterday when 44 out of the capital's 50 districts suffered with PM 2.5 dust pollution exceeding 100 microns. And the average amount of PM 2.5 in the atmosphere today is estimated at 58 microns. And today's worst affected districts in Bangkok are Nong Kham, Sai Mai, Tawi Watana, Pasir Cherun, and Bang Khun Tien districts. So you can see that the levels of PM 2.5 is still really high in these specific districts. And meanwhile, the permanent secretary of the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration said today that 11 city-run schools suspended classes for 3 days, while 10 others suspended classes yesterday and today due to the worsening air pollution. For those schools remaining open, she said that their managements have been told to monitor the air quality very closely and to make a dust-free room available to all students. School managements were also given the authority to decide whether to suspend classes if PM 2.5 in the capital reaches the red level for 3 consecutive days. Some parents have adapted to the air pollution situation by providing their children with 2 face masks when they go to school each day so that the mask can be used alternately throughout the day. So you can see that many of the students who still have to go to school are still wearing face masks because you can see that the air pollution is not looking good at all. And recently, the pollution department has announced today that the air pollution in Bangkok is likely to get worse throughout the week until this Sunday. So this is not good news at all for many people living in Bangkok and also neighboring provinces as well. And the BMA has now decided to ask for cooperation from government agencies and private entities to extend the working from home measures until this Friday, because initially they said that the work from home measures will be imposed yesterday and today will be the last day, but because of the situation right now, this will be extended until Friday.
So not just for students, actually for workers too. And this is not mandatory order there, so we have to see if how the government really can really push these policies to schools, of course, and of course the private company and governmental organization too, because actually in Thai PBS we have the work from home policy, but today we have to do this live show. But for other government organizations, because I get some information that actually not every governmental organization follows this order. So how BMA can negotiate with governmental organizations and private sector there too, because again, this order is not mandatory. They don't have to, private companies, governmental organizations, they don't have to follow this order. So how to negotiate there is very important. And wear a mask all the time, please.
Exactly. And with the severity of the PM 2.5 dust pollution in Thailand, how can the country tackle this problem effectively and sustainably? This is actually a huge question right now, because we have to admit that the PM 2.5 dust pollution is getting much more critical every single year. And even though the Thai government has declared tackling dust pollution pollution as one of their main policies, the hope right now is on the Clean Air Bill and whether it will actually provide a long-term solution to this problem. So a member of the Special Committee on drafting the bill, Bantun Sethasirot, outlined 3 core principles of the bill. The first core principle is addressing 6 major sources of pollution, such as transportation, industry, forestry, agriculture, urban areas, and cross-border pollution. The second core principle is proactive and continuous action, such as implementing measures all year round with an 8-month lead time to mitigate pollution before peak periods. Other core principles is that the integrated coordination where committees and legal frameworks are established to foster collaboration among government agencies, private entities, and local communities. And despite progress, he felt that there are still underlying challenges, particularly in managing cross-border pollution, which accounts for 40% of Thailand's PM 2.5 levels. And some of the strategies include strengthening international cooperation to address cross-border pollution, restricting imports of products linked to burning agricultural waste, and pursuing legal action when cross-border burning impacts Thailand's environment and public health. Bantun also emphasized that tackling dust pollution must tackle the issue based on all the major sources of pollution, which he felt that even though there have been efforts to tackle air pollution many years ago, it has not addressed all of the issues yet. Previously, Prime Minister Pattongtarn Shinawatra announced that tackling PM 2.5 dust pollution, especially through open-air burning of agricultural waste, are among the main policies that need to be addressed. However, the details of the Clean Air Bill were not mentioned. And the Clean Air draft bills passed its first reading last year, while the second and third readings are expected to take place in March. After that, it will go through the Senate before the laws comes into effect. So the Clean Air Bill is the only hope right now because this would probably be the only way to tackle cross-border pollution, which I think this is a bigger problem because it actually requires cooperation from neighboring countries.
And actually, I think this is a very stringent test for Pattongtarn Shinawatra administration because right now, of course, they hope that they can use this bill to really clean the air. But firstly, domestically, how can we really change the tradition of burning agricultural waste? How to manage those old vehicles, no matter it's bus, no matter it's private vehicle there in Thailand, and how about the regional cooperation there? Because actually, I talked to business leaders. They say that if Thailand cannot solve the climate change issues, they might move to other countries in the region. And climate bill, Clean Air Bill here, I think they also suggest that this bill has to align with regional standards. So it's not just domestic issue right now, it links to regional corporations and efforts to tackle it.
It is going to be a tough issue for the Pattongtarn government, and especially when it comes to cross-border pollution. How do you actually coordinate with other countries on this issue? And you just said domestic issues here with the vehicles, transportation. Although there is a measure asking for cooperation for people to work from home, not everyone could comply with it right now.
Yeah, and also the public transportation system here need to be improved. And right now, of course, I think BMA or other regions, other provincials transportation right now has to go through another arrangement too. So we have to see that change very fast. And right now we move to another topic about XingXing. And XingXing, of course, he has been rescued from Myanmar border, but right now it's the tailwind of that story because Chinese New Year actually is coming, the holiday is coming, but I think Thailand's government and administration wants to attract more and more Chinese tourists here. But how about the safety here? Given successful rescue, Thai authorities expect slight growth during Chinese New Year next week. Airline and hotel operators, however, have been impacted by booking cancellations. Thailand's tourism sector faces significant setbacks following the disappearance of Chinese actor Wang Xing or XingXing, who was reportedly tricked into working near the Thai-Myanmar border. The incident has sparked safety concerns on Chinese social media. The Tourism Authority of Thailand, or TAT, estimates around 10,000 Chinese tourists will forego visiting during the Chinese New Year period to Thailand, with charter flights from secondary Chinese cities particularly affected. Thai Lion Air has already seen 40 charter flights cancelled, accounting for a 20% drop in business. The CEO of the airline said that during the 10-day Chinese New Year holiday, the Chinese tour group market cancelled a lot of flight booking, leaving 200 regular and charter flights from China empty. Hotel cancellations have also surged since January. Over 12,000 rooms have been cancellation nationwide, including 4,500 by Chinese tourists. Bangkok, Chonburi, Chiang Mai, and Phuket are among the hardest hit provinces, according to the Thai Hotels Association. TAT governor acknowledged the severity of the situation, stating the agency is working to restore confidence by promoting Thailand's true tourism appeal through online campaigns and influencer partnerships. However, tourism operators have urged the government to address safety concerns decisively. Industry leaders stress that unless transnational crime is curbed, the perception of Thailand as unsafe will persist, further damaging the sector. The Chinese market, particularly sensitive to security issues, is crucial to Thailand's tourism recovery, with a target of 8 million Chinese visitors set for 2025. So, of course, I think TAT and tourism agency and ministry here, actually last year, they predict that this year, Thailand's, the visitor, come to Thailand will exceed more than 40 million. This is their target. But right now, XingXing's stories tailwind will really impact Thailand's tourism growth.
And especially when Chinese tourists are really concerned about safety and security whenever they travel to other countries, especially in Southeast Asia. And whenever they see anything negative in the news or on social media, that would be enough to discourage them from visiting a different country. For example, the case of XingXing, where he was lured into a human trafficking gang in the Thai-Myanmar border, and that has fueled the fear among the tourists. So they would think that it is not safe to go to Thailand at all. And before the case of XingXing, there have been a series of incidents, whether it's the shooting at Siam Paragon or even the No More Bets movie, and that was actually enough to scare people away.
Yeah, but the fear actually, some Chinese netizens, they talk about that actually this XingXing incident actually originated from the overseas work in Thailand. So maybe if they come to Thailand individually or with tour operations, they might be safe. But still, the fear inside, you might not choose to go to Thailand at the end. But right now, TAT and of course the administration trying to push and promote Thailand is a safe country. So we still have to see the development of this story and of course the tourism growth this year. And we move to business and economy. Thailand's market performance had a mixture of repercussions after Donald Trump assumed to the president's seat there. The stock market trajectory went up a little bit, but the market of gold fell slightly. Thailand's stock market opened green this year, according to the Stock Exchange of Thailand. Other Asian markets performed upwards as the Tokyo Stock Exchange Nikkei Index 400 climbed slightly to just over 24,000 points, and the Stock Exchange of Hong Kong Stock Exchange, Hang Seng, rose to 0.23%. But however, Shanghai Stock Exchange descended about 0.05%. This morning, the Hua Seheng website provided an overview of recent movements in the gold market. Gold prices saw some recovery due to the weakening US dollar. gold bars opened with a selling price of 43,900 baht per bar weight and a buying price of 43,800 per bar weight. Gold ornaments are being sold at 44,400 baht per bar weight with a buying price of just over 43,000 baht per bar weight there. The world gold price is at 2,717 per ounce with an exchange rate of 34.11 baht per dollar. Gold prices have opened today at a decline of 50 baht, with investors closely monitoring the implications of Trump 2.0 policies. Despite the U.S. financial markets being closed for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, investors remain focused on the latest policy from the President Donald Trump. This includes the declaration of a national energy emergency aimed at reducing energy costs by increasing oil drilling, expanding pipeline infrastructure, and constructing oil refineries. Additionally, Trump has declared a national emergency and the policy at the southern border and announced a review of import tariff involving China, Canada, and Mexico. So if we see a mixture sentiment in Thailand's market and world market there, because Donald Trump's power is really strong here. No matter his tariff policy, right now he's the president, so he actually has the right to implement the executive order. So of course, to prohibit people, non-illegal immigrants coming from Mexico, and of course the tariff policy against Canada, Mexico, and China there, and Thailand, of course, will be impacted very soon.
And ever since Donald Trump took office last night, we can see that he has been signing a number of executive orders.
More than 100, yeah.
Yeah, more than 100. So that is definitely a 180-degree overturn.
Yeah.
And now let's turn to Thai politics, but with a trivial twist. Imagine being on stage for a campaign rally, but all of a sudden, someone from the crowd threw a plastic bag at you.
But who was the one being thrown?
Well, it's kind of obvious, isn't it? It was no other than Thaksin, Shinawat. So Thaksin's political speech in Mahasarakham province was briefly interrupted on Monday when a plastic bag was thrown onto the stage. The plastic bag was thrown by a woman who described herself as a former Red Shirt supporter, but she was later taken out of the venue. Police only identified the woman as a resident of Wapi Pathum district and also a former supporter of the Red Shirt movement. She claimed that her business had failed because it was boycotted by non-Red Shirt supporters. When asked why she threw the bag onto the stage, she told the police that she acted out of anger after listening to Thaksin's speech, adding that she had no intention of causing harm, but she felt that what Thaksin said on stage was not true. The former prime minister was in Mahasarakham to campaign for a Pheu Thai party candidate who is running for the provincial administrative organization president. Meanwhile, the opposition Palang Pracharat party announced its big dream of making a political comeback. Former Energy Minister Sontirat Sontijirawong said that the party is confident that it will win as many parliamentary seats as the Phum Chai Thai party. He said that the party will capitalize on the conservative revival in Thailand as more people become disillusioned with the Pheu Thai-led government's liberal policies, such as the legalization of casinos and online gambling. And during the government's remaining 2 years in office, he said that the party will present its new set of thoughts and working strategies, rebranding itself as a party which people can trust to win the support of conservative groups, which he claims are growing. He admits, however, that it would not be an easy task and the challenges are formidable, but he believes that there are many people out there who still trust and support the Palang Pracharat party. So the Palang Pracharat party might be making a political comeback really soon, even though they have been pushed into the opposition side already.
It depends on their strategies and tactics, how they really form the support from their supporters there, because of course before they were in the ruling party, right? In the coalition party, but right now they are at the opposition side. So it will be very interesting to see how to shift their focus and against Pheu Thai party there. And back to Thaksin Shinawatra Eastern there, of course, it's a very, very dangerous for a former prime minister facing this kind of situation, because of course that's just a plastic bag there, but if it's a very dangerous weapon or other items, it could cause some public interest in terms of those tensions in between.
The tensions and safety concerns when it comes to campaign rallies in other provinces. But even though it's just a plastic bag, but then even
it shows something.
It shows something. And maybe we should really consider the security concerns, especially when there are campaign rallies like these.
Yes, and right now we are closing to the PAO elections there.
Yeah.
So of course, no matter Partai or other parties there, they will push for their charismatic leaders to go on top to the stage to call for votes. But of course, the security concern and safety there have to be very, very dedicated implementing at the end.
Exactly, especially when the mayoral elections in more than 40 provinces will be taking place on February 1st. So the campaign rallies will be getting intense this week and also the next as well. All right, and that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ